Hi loves! Welcome back! And welcome back to another episode of Favorite Albums! Yay! So first up, thankfully, as of now, I'm getting better, but oh wait, was the entire month just the worst? Oh my, I took a little break from this YouTube thing to recover myself and to just sort out my health stuff, because I was feeling a little bit feverish in the beginning of the month, and also, mental health and stuff with work and blah blah blah. It's not fun. Alright, it's not fun. And yeah, currently I'm still managing myself pretty well. I'm trying to sort out my stress issues at work and stuff like that. So hopefully, going forward I'll be able to manage that well. As of now, I still have a lot of work to do. Right now I had like a ton of work being dumped on me, but then there's a lot of internal issues with the application, as well as connection issues, so I couldn't be able to finish it that quickly. So I was about to cry at work. Where have I heard that one before? But anyways, July wasn't a very good month for me. Alright, it's kind of shit. But you know who else is taking a hiatus? The entire K-pop industry. The entire K-pop industry in July just not for the entire month because of the Tokyo Olympics, and as a result, a lot of the landmark idol releases are kind of pushed forward to August, which as a result, August will be that month, peeps. It will be that month. We'll talk about August when we get there, but yeah, there's not a lot of landmark idol releases this month, and as a result, people think that July is a pretty dry month. However, there are a lot of really good indie stuff that came out this month in July, and I would say that I liked some of the indie stuff. I mean, the beginning of the month is kind of blah, but towards the end, we're getting some good stuff. And let's talk about some of those good stuff, right? Let's get right into it. Here are my favorite albums of July 2021. Let's get it. Let's burn away. So first up, we have Kingdom, one of the few idol releases of the month, and I would say that this album definitely is a step up from their debut album, I would say. I'm not so sure what I envisioned in my head when I first heard Kingdom, especially when it comes to album releases, but maybe it's because I was because they had such a very high concept and high visualization of their lore with all the kings and stuff like that, and the histories of each of the representative kings. I would think that the albums would be some sort of intricate story world building with musical plot driven blah blah blah, and what I got was less than what I envisioned for, but it's still good. The debut album is kind of good. I would say Night Drive, or is it Night Sky or something like that? That was my favorite of the first album, as well as Excalibur, which is inspired by King Arthur, which is his representative album at the time, the first debut album. Definitely borrows from a lot of Arthurian literature and stuff like that. And this album is the second representative album by member Chiwu, which is based on a Chinese emperor that is kind of based in myth almost. From what I understand and from what I have learned, was Chiwu was the enemy of Huangdi, or Emperor Huang. Emperor Huang. And they had an epic war, and Huangdi fought against Chiwu, or Ciyou, and won against Ciyou, and Ciyou was the god of war in Chinese mythology or something like that, something along those lines, and is more common in Korean and Chinese pop culture right now, but sometimes in Korean pop culture, from what I understand. Oh my goodness, I can go on and on and on about the histories of all the kings, though. I want to wait until all the kings release their albums first, and then I'll try and compile everything into this one mega video where I'll detail the histories of each of the kings and the musical influences of each of the albums that they use, and some of the stuff that they borrowed from each of the histories of each of the kings, like the Arthurian literature and the War of Tsuyo, and next comeback will be Ivan's comeback, I believe, which is based on Ivan the Terrible, and I was so excited for it because I know a lot of Ivan the Terrible knowledge. Okay, I'm getting too ahead of myself. Back to the album. Oh my goodness, I love history a lot, so Kingdom's concept really excites me for some reason. I hope that their concept would be more history based for some reason, but I like this album more just because I like they stepped up their musical production and their genres and stuff like that. Like we have Magical with the future bass sounds, and we have Warning with its whole like deep house like funk sounds, and then we have of course Karma, which is like continuing on Excalibur's more like grand orchestral sounds with like some Chinese musical influences, like you hear some pipa in there and also some guzheng in there, something like that. It's kind of a really nice, strong album, even if they don't tie well on first listen, but gradually I kind of get around with it and I liked it, It's definitely stronger than their debut album, I would say, and yeah, okay. I actually first listened to this album after like a trip to the doctor, and I was feeling kind of blah, and then listened to it and I fell asleep halfway. So it's not the album's fault, it's just my fault. I shouldn't have listened to it when I was in a sleepy state. Have I not learned from newest yet? But yeah, just wrapping this up, I really love this album. Quite nice. I really hope that they continue to improve themselves musically. Hopefully they can, introduce some kind of like musical story, world building, plot lines in their albums because of their grand story based concept. But yeah, I think they're on their way up with that, and yeah, I wish nothing but the best for them. So I was in the middle of recording this part, and then my mom came in, so I'm bringing up to the top again. And what I was saying is that this album is very chill and very lo-fi hip-hoppy. I knew about Ocean from the Blue because of his Lo-Fi album from last year, which, as the name suggests, it's full of lo-fi hip-hop songs, and you guys know I'm crazy over those, but I like this album kinda. It definitely had its weak moments here and there, but I say the strong moments are definitely the R&B infused lo-fi hip-hop songs, which are definitely my favorite. And but at the end of the day, it's a chill hop album. I'm gonna lap up to any chill hop album you throw at me, especially in this month, am I right? Like, shit, you give me a chill hop album in the month of July and I'll just eat it up, like more than ever, because yeah, I need some happiness in my life, okay? But yeah, there are some cute parts in the album as well. Like for example, like the first song, as well as like the interlude where the Ocean from the Blue includes like a voice message from I think it was his dad that called him, I believe. And that's a really cute touch. It adds like a very personal touch to this album, which I have yet to know what personal touch it is. That one I need to look into a little bit more. But on a surface level, I say this album is really fine. I like the album quite nice. It's a quite nice album, I would say. Definitely, chill hoppy, Here's another chill hop artist, Jibanov. Now, well, except that this isn't exactly a chill hop album per se, but it's a different album. Okay, I knew about Jibanov from his like more chill, like hip-hoppy R&B-ish songs, so I expect this album to be of a similar nature, right? But I was wrong. The album was like very like avant-garde, kind of like retro synthy, kind of glitch pop kind of affair to it, which isn't exactly chill hop, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. It's a very like atmospheric, like very extraterrestrial album. You listen to it and you feel like you're in outer space or something, or like you just visited another planet or something. Especially like in some of the songs where they have like these moments of just splendor with like its glitches and its very intricate sound design in the album, I would say. I definitely think that it's a very different approach from what Jibanov usually does, but hey, you know, change is good, you know, it's variety is the spice of life, as they say. Oh, Dreamcatcher! They're back! Every time I will review a Dreamcatcher album, I'll have to say, oh, Dreamcatcher. I don't know why, it makes me think of, oh, Captain, my Captain. Oh, Dreamcatcher, my Dreamcatcher. Anyways, yeah, they're back with a summer album, kind of. It's not necessarily a by-the-numbers summer album like you would think. Like, when you think of summer album, you would think, oh, Sistar albums, or like, Red Velvet, Red Summer, or like, you know, what is it called? The one with Summer Magic, there it is. And also the recent Brave Girls album for Chimat Baram. This isn't the chill. Wait, God, why am I want to say chill hop? Okay, this isn't the summer album that I thought I would get from Dreamcatcher. Well, I mean, it's Dreamcatcher, though. I mean, their stick is like dark queens of horror, witches and cauldrons and spells and shit. So I don't expect them to get their asses to the beach and, you know, sing a peppy tune anytime soon, right? But yeah, it's very unique in their own way, in their own style, and I like it for them. You know, they're saying, hey, we're the summer queens, but we're a different kind of summer queen, okay? Like, we're here and we're here to bring our own spin on girl group summer songs. Oh yeah. Okay, so how summer holiday works in this album is that it's very much lighter compared to Dreamcatcher's other releases. It definitely feels like you're listening to a Red Velvet album of sorts, something similar to Summer Magic, as I said earlier, with its like very like quirky production, pop production, stuff like that. You definitely feels like less darker compared to their other releases. But I would say that songs like Whistle and the what's it called again? Airplane, I believe. Yeah, these two. Wait, is it Airplane? And this is why, kids, you need to research before you say anything. Oh god. Yes, Airplane. There it is. Okay, so we have Airplane, Whistle, and All Day Long, which is very light, and you know, it sounds more like the summer breeze more than the summer sun, if you know what I mean. Like, you know how songs like Chimat Param and like Paigan Mat and what is it called, like Sistar summer songs like Touch Your Body and I Swear and whatnot, they all sound like the summer skies, the summer sun, they sound like the beach, you know. But these three songs, Airplane, Whistle, and All Day Long, sounded more like the summer breeze, the night summer breeze, more than anything. And that's what really makes it unique about Dreamcatcher. I don't know if it will catch on with Koreans though, and the mainstream Korean audience, general public, because I feel like throughout history they expected their summer songs to sound a certain way, and their summer songs to sound a certain way ever since the 90s even. Like, I feel like the module of summer songs kind of just follows the module that they have always gotten from like the 90s with like songs by Cool and DJ DOC. So I don't know if this will catch on to the Korean audiences, and I certainly don't know if the Korean general public would crown Dreamcatcher as the summer queens of 2021, you know. But in my heart, they're my summer queens, okay? And also because I like the song. I like a Dreamcatcher title track, yay! Granted, I do really work my way around Odd Eye eventually. Odd Eye grew on me, but this one, because like caught onto me immediately. I love the song. It reminded me of their other songs, like, you know, Red Sun and what is it called? When There's No One Around, and but this one is very because it's very like sassy, it's very dark, it's creepy, it's spooky, and it's almost like teasing you. And that's the thing, when I was watching the music video, they're all like smirking and like welcoming me to the hotel, but then I realized halfway through, oh wait, this is a trap and I should get out of here. But then like there's no escape and I can't get out of the hotel and they trap me for all eternity. Ah! It's what I was thinking. Oh my goodness. While I was watching the music video, I was thinking, wait, the hotel scene looked familiar. Last month I reviewed their brother's album Woojin Young and his title track Happy Birthday, which also is situated in a hotel. So in my head there's a theory that I made up where, okay, hear me out. What if that the general like happy face groups, you know, well, I mean, like, didn't they also split up into like 2 companies, but whatever. They run a hotel together, and then like they're responsible for trapping the innocent souls into their hotel and trying to torment them for all of eternity and stuff like that. I don't know. If they ever collaborated one day, you know, I want to see that hotel concept come to life, you know, something like, you know, their version of Hotel Transylvania or something like that. I don't know, but it's what I thought of when I watched the music video. Like, it's really cute. Like, the last month is like hotel, you know, and this month's also hotel kind of situation and whatnot. I don't know, it's just what I thought of in my head. In short, this isn't the summer album that, you know, the people need. No, this isn't a summer album that the people want, but hey, you know, not all summer queens have to have a certain sound, you know. These summer queens have their own sound, and you know, they're here to bring a different definition to the term summer queens and the summer releases of 2021. You know, you gotta spice things up a little bit, you know. You already know, next is the road, phone to go, I'm out of door. Now, the way I found out about this album is really weird because I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, about TS Entertainment finally shutting down. Good riddance. And then my friend is like, oh yeah, BAP, and they're doing well solo and blah blah blah. Oh my god, Jongup's solo has happened and I love it because he's my bias and stuff like that. I know my friend subscribes to me, I think, so if she sees this video, you know who you are, shout out to you. So because of that, I was reminded to go check out his release. I actually forgotten to check out his release actually, but like, because of her, I actually checked this out. So thank you, man. This album is very nice actually. Of all the post-BAP releases, actually, I feel like some of my favorite like post-BAP soloists are Youngjae's, especially like Forever Young, and definitely Jong-up when he debuted with Headache back last year, I believe. And this album definitely continue on with that sound that he established from Headache, which is more like hip-hop sounds, you know, very laid back, chill. The first few songs are definitely more of like chill hoppy, which I can definitely get into actually. And the guest listings on this album, you know, like Yoonhui and of course fellow member Bang Young-guk, definitely add a nice touch to the album with their raps and stuff like that. I really enjoyed this album a lot, and quite surprising actually, because I didn't expect myself to like it, but in the end I really like it. And of course you can't go wrong with a chill hop album, you know what I mean. It's very laid back and chill, and I really love the vibes of it. Shut up please, I'm trying. Oh my god, this is a very unexpected release from July. Oh my goodness. When I first listened to this album, when I first saw the title of the album, I was like, wait, is this the same Punch-Nello that collaborated with Jihoon on his Message album? With like Dress Code and stuff like that? Is this the same rapper that is featured on Dress Code? Because this doesn't give me the vibes. My perception of Punch-Nello, I think from some of the music I listen to him, definitely is more like chill hoppy and vibey music, stuff like that. So when I saw the album titled Demon Youth, I got a little bit scared. I was like, wait, this is a concept change and a half, man, what the heck? Like, it's like Jibanov when it's like I expected like a chill hop album and then they gave me like a very like extraterrestrial album. This one is like I expected a chill hop album and I ended up getting like a very creepy album. Oh my goodness. Now the entire album is just very scary experience for me, because like I don't know if I ever had anything like this, heard anything like this from this year. Maybe I have, but I never actually liked them. This is probably the first one of its kind from this year that I actually liked. From my previous favorite albums videos, most of my favorite hip hop albums teeter around the whole like chill hop, lo-fi hip hop, R&B, pop hip hop hybrid type albums, and also boom bap albums, I believe. So when I listen to an album of this kind, generally they fall under the trap of overly processing their vocals or like overly like repeating the same refrain over and over or being very redundant in their song. That's when it gets very boring for me. But this album is very interesting. I actually love the soundscapes in this album, albeit somewhat creepy, but you know, it's like a fun ride. You know, it's like walking into a ghost house. Not that I am brave enough to go into a ghost house, actually. I chickened out, by the way. I actually remember the time I went to a theme park, one of my friends, and then my friends were like, yes, man, let's come to the ghost house. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna sit with this one out. And I actually like stayed outside and like the coward that I am. So yeah, if this album was a ghost house, I would probably not go inside, but I actually dared listen to it. And I would say that the songs on the album are definitely very like, what do you call it, like challenging and very like thrilling and exciting to listen to. And the thing that infuriates me about this album is that the best songs on this album are less than 2 minutes long. There are so many like 1 minute songs on this album, and the 1 minute songs on the album are actually like the best songs on the album. But then, like, as per my rule in monthly K-pop faves, I don't include songs that are under 2 minutes. So those good songs are left out of my monthly faves, but like those songs ended up being my absolute favorite of this album. Some of those songs include 9 to 5 and Chopsticks, which are such packed with very unique storytelling and world building, and I actually really like those. I like the way he raps on it as well. He has this like very unique flow and delivery that really like punches through your ears, and each syllable definitely like builds into something that is very thrilling and exciting and exhilarating, and it's just so much fun, you know. I mean, it's scary, but it's so much fun. I love it. And the music videos for them, my goodness. Okay, both of the music videos that he's released, Boy in the Mirror is definitely my favorite of the two, simply because when I first saw back the music video, I was petrified. I was scared, and I was shaking in my skin, because like, I don't want to talk about the music video. I'm not gonna even put it in this video when I edit it later, because that music video scarred me. I don't know if I want to talk about it or not, but if you dare watch it for yourself. I almost cried watching it, and not in a good way. I almost cried of fear watching it. I don't know why, but yeah, this album is definitely something else, really. Another rap album! Yay! Now, this album came out last month, but it came out late last month, so I'm counting it as this month. Like I said in my May album faves, I make my own rules and I break my own rules, damn it. But yeah. I mean, I definitely need something to get through this month, okay? Like, anything to give me entertainment for the month, I'll take whatever I can. Even though the album is a month ago, but I'll take it, I guess. Son Simba is a rapper that I absolutely really adore, and I actually like discovered him from last year when he did a collaboration album with BY, which is the person that will come out on this very, very soon. Spoiler alert! But yeah, I really adore his rap flow. I really like his style of music, and when he did the album, the underground like ensemble album for 30's The Frost and Our Kids, which is an album that I've talked about multiple times on this channel already, I absolutely love this album a lot. He did it with Kundi Panda, which released one of my favorite albums of last month. No, 2 months ago actually, and now he has an album of his own this month, with the collaboration with Vian, which I think produced the instrumentals of the album, correct me if I'm wrong, and with Son Simba's rapping in it. I think that this album is just so unique. It's like Punchnello's like dark album, but instead of dark to the point that it's like intimidating you, this album is dark to the point that it feels like you're going on an epic adventure inside a cave or something. Like, I don't know, it has like major dark cave energy for some reason. It's so like what is it called? Like mystical. It's so like, what is it called? Like very adventurous type album, you know what I mean? And the titles of the album are not playing around either. You have like a story situation going on with the albums actually, song titles actually, and the boom bap sounds on the album are actually my favorite part of the album actually. I love the boom bap sounds that Simba has done, you know what I mean? But the boom bap sounds paired on with like the very unique sound effects, you know, some of them are like breathing into your ear, or like something that is like a glitch in the song, or is it like a sound effect or some sort. It definitely adds on to the storytelling of the album, and it makes you feel compelled to listen to it even more. I absolutely like the front part of the album, I believe it, but towards the end it got a little bit like, you know, like I kind of wish for something more, like maybe a little bit of variety to spice it up from the constant like boom bap sounds. But I say he added enough diversity in the album that I actually want to listen to it again someday, even though that, you know, it doesn't really like, it's kind of plain, you know what I mean? Like it kind of just repeats like the same sound over and over again throughout the album. But he added in just enough like spice in it to actually make this worthwhile, you know. I'm gonna love. Hell yeah! Kyungsu solo, let's go! I have been waiting for a Kyungsu solo in so long. From all the EXO members I expected to go solo, I thought Kyungsu would be the first one, but like, then we have like Baekhyun solo, we have Suho solo, we have Jongin solo, and I was like, okay, but where's the Kyungsu solo? I like all these solos actually, especially Baekhyun solo. He definitely does the kind of music that I absolutely really like a lot. But yeah, it definitely doesn't feel right, you know. It doesn't feel right without a Kyungsu solo. So when he finally dropped his solo, I was so happy and excited to see what he can come up with, and I definitely wasn't disappointed at all. He released a acoustic album of sorts, which, I mean, like, it's not like a spring type acoustic album, but it's definitely more of like a very somber acoustic album with like very like sad songs, very like somber, very sorrowful undertones to it, you know. It definitely helps that Kyungsu's vocals are more suited to sing like powerful and emotional songs and sentimental pieces, like ballads and like acoustic, like easy listening songs, you know. Is definitely his strongest suit. So I would say this album definitely really fits him very well, and I definitely also feel like the acoustic sounds paired with Kyungsu's vocals really ties nicely together and I really couldn't be happier for him. I actually don't know like what I envisioned in my head for a Kyungsu solo to sound like. Mostly ballads, I think, but like, I don't know, but when I listened to this album, I was so happy. It got me through work. I was so stressed at doing work, and I listened to this album and it just makes me feel calm inside, makes me feel happy, it makes me feel relaxed, and I enjoyed every second of it. Oh, I love this album so much. Yeah, it's a very nice acoustic album. I feel like if you guys like acoustic, sentimental stuff, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Even I think like some people might not like this though because of its like slower nature, you know what I mean? I feel like I don't think a lot of people might like this album, but if you're into like slow acoustic songs, then I say give this a fair shake and let me know what you think. Okay, finally we got to talk about BY. Right, okay. I talked about it in the Son Simba section earlier, but I love BY's album! My goodness, I love this album so much! Oh my god. You can have no idea how excited I am and how happy I am when I saw that BY is coming back. I was just over the moon, so happy, so excited. I love him a lot. Well, I mean, I love his music a lot actually, but I thought that he would go back to something more like his 2019 stuff, like his movie star album, especially songs like Chalan and Karasede. But to my surprise, he actually released a retro album, like a very like groovy, like old school hip hop, like funk retro album, hip hop album of sorts. And I was like, okay, that kind of seems left field. What the heck's going on? I don't know, because I thought when I think of BY, I think of like dark, like avant-garde, very like deep message songs with like very interesting flows and rap styles. I don't know. Maybe like I think from what I remember, he was in the same team as Dynamic Duo in Show Me 9. So maybe like some of Tadiu's style kind of rubbed off onto him, and maybe that led him to venture into this kind of style. It kind of sounds like a Dynamic Duo album from I think. But I don't know, that's just my guess. I don't know, he probably has other reasons to do it. Maybe it's because he wants to do it for fun. I don't know. Maybe there's a side of him that we don't even know, and that side is funky and full of retroness. I don't know. But anyways, I love this album so much. It's so good. The entire album was just full of just retro sounds. I feel like retro sounds are definitely more omnipresent in today's K-pop landscape, especially like since BTS's Dynamite and also lots of other retro songs, you know, like G-Friend's Mago, and of course earlier this year we have the synthwave song A Bit Tipsy by Yuha, that's her name, right? And also like when it comes to like retro hip-hop albums, I've definitely heard a little bit of it, like, you know, like Kid Wine's January album Decanting, as well as I can hear a little bit of it in influences in like Woojin Young's June album for 3 - 2 = 8. Definitely like retro hybrid hip-hop albums are definitely a little bit in style right now, and I hope to hear more of it though, because it sounds so good. I love his like very interesting rap style paired with the funk background of this album. Is definitely really groovy, and it has very like happy and fun energies to it, especially the title track Celebration, which is just so fun. I had so much fun listening to the song and watching the music video. He was just having the time of his life, and I can tell that, you know, well, I mean, like, it's kind of different from what he does in the Movie Star, as well as the OST he did for Sweet Home, which is Side by Side. You know, it's very, very different, but hey, Happy BY is my favorite BY, you know. I don't know why, but like this month is just full of just like Freaky Friday like style swap situations going on. Like you know, Jibanov and Punchnello, I thought they're gonna release a chill hop album, and then they release like different styles of albums. And then for BY, I thought he was gonna release a dark album, and then he released a groovy album. What is going on? Well, I mean, like, July is the month that everybody is, you know, feeling like they want to try something new, you know what I mean? I mean, like, you know, not that anything is interesting happening this month, but, you know, anything to spice up whatever July is, you know, it's very welcome in my book, because, like, you know, we need some variety in our life, you know? Like I said, variety is spice of life, you know? I don't know why, this album just makes me feel good, you know? It's such a feel-good album, I would say. It's very different from what I expected from BY, by the way, but like, hey, you know, a feel-good album is what I need this month, you know? Just something that makes me happy and just makes me feel like, you know, it makes me feel entertained, you know? My perfect life. This is really fun. This is the best discovery I've made that month. I almost dismissed the album, by the way. I almost was like, no, I'm not gonna listen to it. I don't know why. Something just kind of repelled me from it. But like, I actually liked his collaboration with Haze from last year, I believe. So I was like, why didn't I want to listen to this album? So I checked it out, and it was so good. It's so much like acoustic energy to it. You know what I said about Sewon's album in January? This is acoustic music that kicks a bunch of ass. You know, this is acoustic music that just kicks ass, especially songs like Escape and I'm Alive, which is just full of acoustic energies inside the album, which I absolutely really like. And Perfect Dancer is just so pop driven, you know. It definitely reminds me of like a lot of Western pop songs, you know, like something along the lines of Shawn Mendes or Charlie Puth would put out, you know what I mean? I don't know, it just makes me feel so happy. And yeah, if you guys like acoustic music that kicks a bunch of ass, then I recommend this album a lot. It's just so fun. I like this album a lot. Thank goodness for day 6, or else July would be dry. What the heck? Okay, well, I mean, there's only like 3 members of day 6, you know, but it's better than nothing. It's better than no day 6, okay? Alright, so even if they came back with their album, right, True B, and I definitely felt like night market energy from this. I don't know why. I felt even more night market energy compared to the Soto Band album from last month, which, by the way, day 6, if you could have released this album like several days earlier, you guys would have made it into my band agenda video, but you guys are late to the party, by the way. But anyways, better late never, right? So I love Right Through Me. When I first listened to it, it's just so night market energy for some reason. Like, it kind of just felt like you're walking through like a dark alleyway of sorts. I don't know, and then like towards the end of the album, you stumble upon a very fun party and you join that party and fireworks are setting off and just so much happiness, you know. Love Parade reminded me of a Panic at Disco song for some reason, especially like from their Pretty Odd album. I don't know why I was thinking of 90 Afternoon when I listened to Love Parade. It definitely has similar vibes. Yeah, this album is really good, I would say. I think Day 6 just is not capable of making a bad album at all, I feel like. Actong Musician, oh boy, I'm so happy when this came out. I don't know why. This is a collaboration album with like all of the renowned like singers in South Korea. Like, you know, there's Chanabi and Sam Kim and Benzino and IU. They got freaking IU in the album and in the freaking title track. My goodness, if you have IU and Akmu in a title track, guaranteed smash hit, guaranteed top 10 hit in Korea. The people in South Korea are gonna eat that shit up. I tell you that much. I don't know why. I was so happy when I got to review this album, because then I can make a bunch of jokes like, oh my god, what if I get IU in one of my songs? Will I be a big hit in South Korea? And then I was thinking, I can't sing, so IU wouldn't want to collaborate with me, and neither does Akmu. So yeah, in my dreams, man, in my dreams. But yeah, this collaboration album is really cute, I would say. It has some similar energies to a 1975 album mixed with a Charlie Puth album, I believe, where it felt like very synthy and very like groovy and very like almost like pop energy, you know what I mean? There's kind of pop energy within this album, like kind of alternative pop energy, which I absolutely like. And I think that is very friendly for audiences, you know. I feel like part of the reason why Akmu is so well beloved in South Korea is just because of how accessible their music is to everyone. I feel like everybody of all ages can listen to their songs and enjoy it, you know. And I love the collaborators that they choose though, especially for Naka with IU inside there. I love IU's voice in the chorus so much. And of course, TikTok with Benzino. That song's also really cute. I love the synergy between the both of them. I really wish for more collaboration albums like this though in K-pop for some reason. Like, I don't know why, but I don't know why. I feel like collaboration albums used to only be like a hip-hop thing, I believe. Like, I don't know why, but like when I think of collaboration albums, I think of like hip-hop scenes, you know, especially like with producers and listing like different like rappers into their album. You know, I don't know if I can actually think of any example off the top of my head, but I feel like this is a practice that like the K-hip-hop scene does a lot, I believe. But it's not commonly done in Korean pop as far as I know, or at least like within the sphere of like Korean like popular music for like the Korean general public, I think. But we need more collaboration albums, man, because yeah, like you need to borrow each other's energy and produce synergy with each other. You know what, you don't know what you can cook up together. And I love the concept of collaboration albums, man. I don't know why when I first listened to it though, I felt like, wait, haven't I heard of a collaboration album before? Didn't Gorillaz did a collaboration album? And in fact, they did twice. And I don't know why, but like, I was also thinking of another like group that also does collaboration albums, and hear me out on this, but the Lonely Islands The Whack album, it might also be a collaboration album. Dude, there's something else. I really like their music a lot. I don't know why. I feel like Acme wouldn't do that kind of like comedy album, you know what I mean? Maybe they could if they want to, but yeah, if they ever want to do a comedy album, you know who to call. Call me. Please call me. I'm desperate. JK, I'm not that desperate. But yeah, I really like the sounds of the album. As even if it's Acme themselves, I feel like Acme has this sort of like whimsical energy, like very alternative pop energy to them, very like acoustic-y, very like retro driven, something similar to like disco and like very 70s disco or like 80s synth or city pop kind of stuff, which really like fits in with their easy listening image very, very well and nicely. I feel like not a lot of people hype Acme up enough, because I feel like not a lot of people in the international music sphere just hype them up enough. So yeah, just go hype these siblings up, and yeah, I think you'll find something you like within this album. I feel like this album is definitely for everybody, even if you don't want to listen to the entire album. I feel like there's parts of songs here and there that you might like in this album. So yeah, just pick and choose and see what you think. She goes boom, she don't fuck with me, no, but she don't really wanna wait and see. Everybody say thank you DPR Live for coming back this month, or else July would be trash. My goodness, I'm so happy he's back. Yes. I'm so happy he's back, yes. And he released a new EP called yikes, and honestly though, I'm living for it, man. I'm just living for it in general, man. Oh, I'm so happy. Where do I begin? So last year he released the masterpiece that is Anybody Out There, which is like a storytelling album. And it doesn't sound like an album, but it's more like a auditory novel of sorts, where every single song takes you through a journey across space and time, and it definitely like highlights his like personal struggles, like his like life and stuff like that. And that's what I really like about DPR Live and just DPR in general, is that they know how to make albums that tell stories. The way they write songs is definitely really like story driven, in a sense that it's very like, how do you say this, like within the songs you have like cadence changes and like sound effects and like pacing changes and like tonal like narration and like melodic narration and stuff like that, and it really like grabs the listeners on, and it makes them feel compelled to listen to it even further. And from track to track, it just definitely felt like there's a lot of diversity within this album. Especially the core of this album is very like pop, hip-hop, pop hybrid driven, I believe, mostly pop, especially on songs like Yellow Cap, which is very like punk poppy and stuff like that. And also what is it called again? Is it Hula Hoops? Yeah, I think it's Hula Hoops. It's just very also like pop driven, stuff like that. But I would say that more than the soundscapes of the album, I love the pacing of it even more. I love how they write their songs. It just grabs you on. I like the sudden like comedic timings of the songs, when they kind of cut off here and there, or like they added a special sound effect here and there that really just catches me off guard. And that's what I really, really like about this album in general, I believe. Oh my god, I think I really could make a separate video about just DPR in general and how they tell stories in the album. I feel like I can save tons and tons of rambling in that video. But yeah, I already have a lot of videos to work on, but if I ever work on that video in the future, just know that I would really go ham on their music. I love their music so much. In short, I feel like everybody should check this out. I love the what is it called, the quirky energy with this album. I love how funny and you know, sometimes like goofy and like it's like trying to be swag, but like it's kind of goofy in the end, you know. I kind of like that energy, like kind of awkward energy, you know what I mean? I definitely like this a lot. And yeah, I just love DPR Live, man. I've been listening to him since when he first came out with Coming to You Live, his debut album, I believe. I've been listening to him from then, and I've been hooked ever since. Every single album of his is pure gold. Oh my god, my love for him is just endless, man. What the heck?
She's got an alien heart. She's got an alien heart. She's got an alien heart.
Come back to earth, you fools, take me.
Now this album is also an album from last month. Yeah, it's an album from last month. But like it came out at the end of last month. Like I think it came out on the 30th of June. So that counts, right? It counts. It counts, guys. It counts. I make my own rules and I break my own rules. But yeah, I am in love with this album so much because it's the chill hop album. Yay! What would this channel be without its chill hop albums, man? What the heck? And yeah, even though it came out last month, I love this album to bits so much. It's just so good. I love her voice. Jot's voice is just really like soft and smooth, you know. This album is just full of R&B energy, you know, very chill hop energy, you know. And I love the little sprinkles of French in there, you know, especially like what's that one song where she sang entirely in French? There's a song that she sang entirely in French that I forgot the name too. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna so butcher this. Yeah, it's Bonjour. Bonjour is a song where she sang entirely in French, and also like Go Back. Also it's very like quirky, you know, because she's like, oh, she's very homesick and she misses France so much, which I mean, ain't that a mood? Yeah, I love the soundscapes of this album. It just makes me feel so happy, you know. Every single track is just pure R&B / chill hop perfection. Perfection, I tell you, perfection. I love her voice so much. I wouldn't mind if I had heard more of Jot in the future, especially, I mean, like, she definitely knows her stuff really, really well. I love the album art for some reason. It just makes me giggle every time I listen to it. It's a little birdie with a beret. Isn't it cute? Oh, I don't know why. It just makes me think of the Twitter logo if you put a beret on top. Drawn by a 5-year-old. It's so cute. But anyways, yeah, this album is just such a lovely trip, you know. I feel like this album definitely felt very like personal as well, you know, especially on songs like Go Back and Hometown, where especially Hometown, she definitely has that sort of like a nostalgic energy to it, you know. And yeah, being nostalgic, especially in like pandemic times, is definitely, you know, a given, because, you know, we can't really go out right now. So if you want to go back to France, you can, because air travel is not possible. But yeah, I feel like this album definitely reeks of nostalgia. Definitely like 2 a.m. nostalgia, or 2 a.m. midnight thoughts for whatever reason. I don't know why. It doesn't have the same energy of me just like lying in bed with staring at the ceiling at like 2 a.m. thinking about life and stuff like that. I don't know, it just has the same energy. But yeah, just chill hop, man. Just chill hop. I love it. It's so cute. How can I not like this? And finally, we have Janabi with the masterpiece of the century. Hello! This album makes me so happy. Okay, so I like briefly said that I will listen to this album like in my South Korea songs video, and one of my subbies was like, "Oh, this album is really good," and I was like, "Okay, I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm intrigued." And when I get into this album, it makes me so happy. I don't know how to explain it in words. I just felt so happy. I'm so happy. This album, okay. I think that when I said that about Kingdom just now in the beginning of the video, when I said I want Kingdom to be like story driven and stuff like that, this is the album I was referring to. This is the album that I was talking about. This is the style of music that I wish they would do, especially in their first mini with King Arthur stuff and stuff like that. This is the kind of album that I wish they would do. Oh my goodness, this is the album I had in mind. My goodness. It's just so like royalty, you know. It just felt like you're watching a Disney film. This album felt less like an album and more like a movie soundtrack or like a Disney soundtrack of sorts, like something that you listen to in like old like especially in princess movies, like, you know, like Cinderella or like Snow White or Sleeping Beauty or whatnot, or especially like movies like, what is it called, Pocahontas? Wait, not Pocahontas, what is it called, Hercules? Wait, not Hercules, isn't it like Sword in a Stone or whatnot? I think so. Sword in a Stone, and yeah, that it definitely has like Disney film vibes inside there, especially since that just like the DPR Live album, each song is written in a way that it's very like story driven, you know what I mean? Like there's like parts of the song where it cuts out, or you have moments in there where it felt like the music just kind of got faster and faster to like drive the pacing, or like there's like lots of orchestral moments in the album where it just kind of felt like it draws tension, or like it has like moments of like joy or like moments of sadness, you know. It definitely felt like you're on a journey around the kingdom and stuff like that, or at least like you're listening to an audio version of like a Disney film or something like that. It just makes me so happy, man, and it's just so compelling. I love storytelling so much. As someone who enjoys reading books and enjoys storytelling in general, this kind of album makes me feel so happy, and it's one of the reasons why I enjoy storytelling in albums. I don't know why, but like it's so like joyful to listen to someone who writes their songs as if they're also writing a story along with it, you know, especially with like different tempos and different dynamics and different key changes, with like signaling different mood changes and stuff like that, as well as like some different like quirky background noises, like, you know, the little clapping noises at the end of The King of Romance where they're like, yay, the person is performed on stage. That's so cute. And I love the choral type singing in the songs. Everybody just kind of felt like they're singing in unison, and it felt like an entire village is singing to this album, and it just makes me, it warms my heart. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy, you guys. It also sounds like a Grimm Brothers story for some reason, like something along the lines of like the 12 Dancing Princesses or like Rumpelstiltskin or something like that. I felt like if a Grimm Brothers story is an album, it would be this one, I tell you. When I was younger, my mom bought me like 2 books, which is like a compilation, which is like a story collection of like Grimm Brothers and a story collection of like Aesop's Fables. And as a kid, I actually was more drawn to Aesop's Fables, just simply because 1, they're shorter, and 2, I just like stories based on animals for whatever reason. But and also the Grimm Brothers stories kind of like, you know, scare me as a kid, because they kind of have like themes of like, you know, didn't Rumpelstiltskin like stole someone's child, and Rumpelstiltskin is like, if you want your child back, you have to guess my name. Oh, no, hold the phone, Yasmin, hold the phone. That isn't the story of Rumpelstiltskin. I actually like reread the Rumpelstiltskin story, and I got everything completely wrong. First up, Rumpelstiltskin didn't kidnap someone's child, alright? The story was like, okay, I'm gonna retell the story of Rumpelstiltskin, so buckle up, strap up. Here we go. So basically, one day there was this like little lady, and she stumbled upon a king, and the king, I don't know what happened there. I forgot what happened there, but from what I remember, the king asked the lady to spin some straw into gold, and she's like, dude, I ain't got that kind of skill. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, hocus pocus everything into gold? I ain't got that kind of magic. So she kind of just sat there crying all night, and she's just pretty hopeless and stuff like that. And then there's this little elf that appeared out of nowhere, and he's like, hoo hoo hoo, I'm gonna help you, and the girl was like, oh really, you will help me? And then Rumpelstiltskin is like, yeah, I'm gonna help you, and stuff like that. And then she's like, I can give you my necklace as an exchange for your help, or something like that. And so Rumpelstiltskin, you know, by magic changed straw into gold, and then it kind of just repeats itself for like another night, and another night, and then the king was like, wow, you spun everything to gold, that's fucking awesome, blah, yay. But on the third night, when the lady didn't have anything else to give the elf offered the lady to offer him her firstborn child as exchange for his labor, and the girl had no choice but to agree and say yes. Which, I mean, like, that still puzzles me to this very day. Like, of all things, why would an elf, a little tiny elf, would ask a lady to offer her firstborn child? Like, is an elf capable of raising a child? I don't know, but whatever, it might work in a DreamWorks film, I don't know. But like, anyways, she said yes because of course she doesn't have any other choice. Like, does she even have a choice? I mean, it's like the olden days, man. It's not like that she can give him an iPad or an iPhone or something like that. But anyways, so yeah, this elf spun the straw into gold, and the king was like, "Oh, you're such a talented lady. I'm gonna marry you because you're so talented." And so they both married each other, and they got a little baby. And then when the lady, now it's the queen, she's playing with her baby, the little elf showed up out of nowhere, and the elf was like, "Okay, time's up, lady. Give me your child. Hand her to me." And the girl was like, "No, I'm not gonna give you my child." And then the elf is like, "Hoo, you promised me the other night that you're gonna give me my child. No, you're gonna give me your child because I helped you spun all that straw into gold." And the girl is like, "Hell no, I'm not gonna give you my child." And then the elf is like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you one last chance. So I want you to guess my name, basically. If you can guess my name, you can keep your child. But if you can't, your child's going bye-bye." And then the queen was like, "Huh? Like, guess your name? Dude, there's like 1,000 names you can choose from, alright? Like, your name could be like Steve or John or Shmemulok." I don't know, but yeah, so and also she was given 3 days, by the way, to guess his name. If she doesn't guess the elf's name by the 3rd day, she's gonna lose her child forever. So she asked her servants and hunters to scour far and wide to ask for names that she can use to guess the names and blah blah blah. And on the first 2 days, she basically failed at it, and then the elf was like getting really impish and shit. And on the 3rd day, the hunter came back with the grand news that on one day he was strolling through the woods and he stumbled upon a little hut hidden in the woods, and he saw a little elf dancing by the hut, and the elf basically was like just being so happy that he's almost nearly there to basically stealing someone's child and keeping the child forever. And he's like, "Oh, my queen will never know that my name is Rumpelstiltskin." Woo-hoo-hoo. And so the queen was like, yeah man, yeah, Rumpelstiltskin, bruh. So on the 3rd day, the elf showed up, and the queen was like, "Is your name John?" The elf was like, "No." "Is your name Harry?" "No." "Is your name Rumpelstiltskin?" "Oh my god, you guessed my name! What the heck?" And then, like, Rumpelstiltskin said something along the lines of, "The devil told you the name." I'm pretty sure it's the devil told you the name. Which, I mean, like, okay, that was too dark for a kid's story like that. I don't know, man. Some of those themes in Grimm Brothers fairy tales tend to be kind of dark, which kind of scared tiny little me. But I mean, like, that's what the story said. Apparently, I don't know. There's like 10 different iterations of Rumpelstiltskin, I guess. You know, isn't there like a Rumpelstiltskin in Shrek at some point? I don't know, man. But like the Rumpelstiltskin is like, "Oh, you cheated! The devil told you the name! Ah, curse you, Perry the Platypus! Ah!" And then Rumpelstiltskin disintegrated into thin air and never to be seen again. And the queen and the king and the child live happily ever after. The end. Oh, like that shit scared me as a kid for some reason. Like, imagine my little tiny brain was like, wait, I don't want my little children to be taken away, and I certainly can get someone's name. Like, what if your name is Bob, Fred, Kyle? Who knows? It definitely isn't Rumpelstiltskin. It's not like the first choice in my mind. You dick? My goodness. I digress, man. What the heck? But yeah, I definitely was more drawn to Aesop's Fables, but when I grow up a little bit more, I'm definitely more drawn to I'm definitely like also drawn to Grimm Brothers like stories and stuff like that. I definitely like gotten more interested in that when I get a little bit older, like around in my like 13-14-year-old days, you know. I think like little tiny me when I was like in primary school, like about 10 or 9 or something like that, I was more drawn to like animal based stories. But like when I grow a little bit older, I definitely am more into like whimsical, like, you know, whimsy based stories, you know, like 12 Dancing Princesses. Especially, didn't the Grimm brothers also wrote a story called One Eye, Two Eye, and Three Eyes, where there's like 3 sisters, and like the one sister has like 1 eye, and the second sister has 2 eyes, and the third sister has 3 eyes? Like, what kind of mind thinks of a story where there's 3 sisters with 3 different calibrations of vision? What the heck? Anyways, oh my god, I can go on and on and on about this album. This is so fun. It's so wholesome to me, and what I really think that I like most of this album is that how it compelled me from start to finish. Even though it has like 13 songs, it still managed to make me feel interested from start to finish, which is something that not many albums are capable of doing, you know, is to keep my attention and keep my interest up, you know, because most albums kind of feel like, oh, there's a strong front, and then like by the middle is like and then by the end is like also kind of strong, which I don't mind, but I mean, like, this album is definitely strong from start to finish, you know. There's like your hero songs, you have your villain songs, you know. I feel like there's some villain soundtracks in between, which I love. And then you have like the victory songs, the like, what did you call it, the moments of despair songs, the frustration songs. It's everything that it felt like a movie soundtrack, like a components of a movie soundtrack or like a Disney soundtrack of sorts. I feel like there's like lots of different components that comprises of a Disney soundtrack or a movie soundtrack, and this album definitely takes all the checkpoints of it. You know, the structuring of movie soundtrack is definitely much different from that of a regular album by regular artists, you know, and Janabi definitely nailed it on the head with like the whole like movie aspect of it. I actually felt like I was watching a whole ass movie. I'm not surprised that they haven't filmed an entire movie for it yet, because honestly, I would so watch that movie. I would be like front seat watching the Janabi movie. I can't wait, seriously. My goodness, it will be fun. I'll tell you that. But yeah, it's just so good. One of my top favorite albums of this year, to be honest. It just makes me so happy. Any album that makes me happy or makes me feel a certain way is a good album in my book, and this album definitely is worthy of that top album of the year title, possibly even top K-pop albums I've listened to in my life. This is magnificent, man. If this album made me so happy, I just couldn't describe it with words at all. My goodness, it's magnificent. Chef's Kiss. Go listen to it. Go hype it up. It's fun. It's amazing. God, I love this album so much. And we made it to the end. Yay! Oh, I had the time of my life talking about my favorite albums. I don't even mind how long this voiceover is at this point. Wait, how long is it? 55 minutes! Yay! I mean, I don't mind at this point, you know. I felt like, you know, I just had so much fun, and like, that's what I was missing in the last video, is that my desire to let it all out, but I can't because I was ridden with sickness. But like, now I can. I felt so relieved, you know. I can talk to you guys about my favorite albums passionately like this, and just talk about what makes me like it personally, and what the components that make me feel is a certain way with these albums, you know. And yeah, that makes me so happy. I'm just so happy. And yeah, even though it will be a pain in the ass to edit, I am excited nonetheless, because I just love talking about my favorite albums, man, and my favorite K-pop releases. Whew, that is it for my favorite albums of the month. Let me know what your favorite releases of the month, and let me know what your favorite albums of the month are. I would love to hear them. And oh boy, are we scared of August at this point because I felt like as of now I've heard of like 20 comeback news at this point, you know. Off the top of my head, I can remember Weekly, CIX, Park Ji-hoon, Ha Seung-won, The Boys, very, very on and off, Sunmi. Isn't there a debut next month as well? I can't remember. Isn't there also like a like what's it called? Red Velvet. Yeah, Red Velvet's coming back next month. I couldn't remember. I felt like so much is gonna happen in next month, and are we not ready for it? Seriously though, it's gonna be a whirlwind, and as we know it. And honestly though, buckle up, peeps. We're going on a ride in August. But until then, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Stay safe, take care, and as always, be excellent to each other. Bye, loves.